Hi friends, welcome back. Today's class is going to be a Vinyasa flow. So if you are not familiar with what that is, I have a few other classes available here on my YouTube channel that could kind of introduce you to that. But essentially we're going to be really fluidly moving through the practice, connecting each of these movements to our breath and incorporating that little round of sun salutations in between left side and right side sequencing. So if you'd like to follow along, that's the gist of it. And today we're going to be focusing a lot into our legs, our hamstrings, really giving everything a really nice, good, long stretch. So I do recommend that you have a couple of blocks available to you at the top of your mat, as well as a strap, as we will be stretching out our legs before we get started. And I think that's it. So let's hop right into it. So I'm going to have you join me on your backs, and I will be down there in just a moment, but allow yourself to lie back flat on the mat and get comfortable, shifting the weight around and just really releasing everything from the shoulders, from the hips, allowing the limbs to grow heavy. Wiggle out the fingers and toes a couple of times to release any excess energy. And then allow the belly to soften and your spine to relax into the floor. Notice your natural breath as it comes and goes through the nose or the mouth. Slowly begin connecting with the rhythms of your body. Noticing how you feel from the toes all the way up to the crown of the head. If you're feeling tense or tight anywhere, take a couple extra breaths just with your natural pace here and try to release in these areas. Sometimes just bringing our attention to those spots that feel a little bit tight can help release them. We're going to slowly begin building upon the breath here. So deepening as you breathe in, really expanding through the belly. And then extending the breath nice and long as you breathe out. Each round of breath, try to make it just a little bit longer than the previous. So really finding control over each inhale and each exhale. We'll take 3 more rounds of this deep breath before finding our natural rhythm again. So slowly connecting with your natural breath. I will join you down on the mat now. On your next exhale, float the knees into the chest and wrap your arms around your legs. Give them a nice squeeze and then begin to rock gently from side to side. Then coming back into center, take your hands on the tops of your knees and keeping the legs together, we're going to begin to circle the knees around. This is going to give you a nice massage across the low back. So just taking your time. And as the legs move around, thinking about all those points of pressure. And reversing the direction. Try to keep your shoulders, your head and your neck relaxed. And the next time the knees come into the chest, pause here. We're going to continue to circle out the legs, but we'll be opening them wide apart, circling the knees around. Bring the knees together and back into the chest. And then opening out and around. Coming back in through center. So beginning to stretch out, open, and move into the hips. And the next time the knees come back into the chest, we're going to reverse the direction. So extending the knees forward, opening the legs out and around, and back into the chest. Maintaining a steady breath through these movements. And next time the knees are in the chest, hold here. Let the arms fall open to the side. Take a breath in. And exhale, relax the knees to the right. Finding a spinal twist. Glue the shoulders down. Maybe look to the left hand and breathe. Inhale, bring the knees through center. And exhale to the left side. And inhale, moving back into center. Plant the feet about hip distance. Reach the fingertips down to brush the back of the heels, and then walk the shoulders down, lengthening the back of the neck. We're setting up for a bridge. On an exhale, flatten your low back to the floor, tucking the belly in. And as we inhale, we'll press the feet down, squeeze the bum gently as you lift the hips toward the ceiling, rolling up onto the shoulders. We're going to hold here for a few breaths. If you want to link fingertips underneath, find a little extra boost through the arms to lift that upper chest. You can let the top of your head slide a bit toward the top of the mat to create a little bit more space between your chest and your chin. The key here is not to clench the glutes, but to keep them gently engaged. Take a breath in, release the hands if you have them together, and exhale, we'll roll back down nice and slow. And as the spine resets on the mat, find your strap, extend the left leg, and bring your right foot into the chest. We're going to start by stretching out the right leg. So strap goes around the ball of the right foot, and we extend it up toward the ceiling. As we begin to activate and engage this right leg, we want to make sure we're still staying engaged in the left side. So both feet are flexed. Press that left leg down into the mat as we find the extension up and back through the right side. Taking the strap in the right hand close to the toes, we'll open the leg to the side. Try to keep that left hip grounded. We don't want it popping up off the mat. Inhale, moving back through center. Take the strap in the left hand. And exhale, direct the leg across the body to the left side, but keep that right shoulder glued down. Inhale, moving back through center. Plug that right hip down into the mat. Feel the low back pressing down as you lengthen up and back. Take a breath in, remove the strap from the foot, and exhale, float the right leg down to the mat nice and slow. And then soften everything, take a breath. We'll bring the left foot into the chest. Strap goes around the ball of the left foot. Find that extension up and back, and keep that right leg engaged on the mat. So pressing down, relax the shoulders, and just breathe into the back of the leg. And taking the strap in the left hand, we'll open out to the side, keeping the right hip glued down. Inhale through center, strap in the right hand, and we'll bring the leg across the body. And inhale to center. Plug the left hip down. Take another couple breaths here. Breathe in, remove the strap. And exhale, left leg floats all the way down. Soften everything, take a breath. On an exhale, tuck the knees into the chest again. Take the hands between the calves and the thighs, just behind the knees. We're going to begin to rock and roll up the spine here. So swing your feet overhead and then rolling forward on the spine. We're going to get some nice momentum and movement going here. So you can do this a few times. And then as we come right up to sit, extend the legs forward, shift your hips back. Nice tall spine right into staff pose. So legs pressing down into the mat, shoulders roll down and back, fingertips framing the hips or floating the hands over the mat here. We want to engage the whole body. Belly is tucking in. Chin lifted from the chest. We're building energy here. So if you're shaking, that's totally fine. Just breathe through it. Breathe in And exhale, soften. Bring the left foot in towards the center of the right leg, and then let your left knee fall open to the side. Left foot to the inner right thigh for our seated tree pose. Shift your hips and back. On an inhale, we'll reach the arms up. Exhale, extend your torso forward, think nose to toes, and then exhale it all the way down. And your hands can frame your calf, maybe your ankle or your foot if that's within your practice. And if you are flexible or if you practice folds quite often and your hands can reach beyond your foot, I invite you to take a block to the bottom of your foot. That way you can extend your reach just a little bit more, or if you have very long arms and fingers like me, you could even take 2. So wherever your reach is at, we want to maintain extension through the spine. So think about that crown of the head extending toward the top of the mat. Your tailbone and sit bones plugging down into the mat behind you. You can keep a soft bend to the knee here, but as you breathe and create space, slowly begin to bring it closer to the mat. You never have to lock your leg in these positions, but moving into the space you create will help deepen the stretch. Look to the toes. Power up your belly. On an inhale, we'll reach the arms up. Hands meet overhead. Exhale, hands into the heart. So keeping this left leg tucked in right to the inner thigh here, we're going to bend the right knee and then draw the back of your foot and your calf as close as you can to the back of the right thigh. Sometimes we call this seated mermaid. I'm not sure what its real name is, but we're going to just call it that for today. So we just want to avoid the knee being open to the side. So even if your calf and foot are not flush to the back of your thigh, just as close as you can get them to avoid any knee sensitivity or irritation. We're going to take a twist here. So on a breath in, grow tall. And as we exhale, starting at the waist, we'll twist to the left and allow your right hip to follow you. So the right side of your hip may come off of the mat, and that's okay. Take one more breath in here. And then exhale, untwisting, coming back through center. Extend your right leg and extend your left. Give them a nice little wiggle. And then just take a moment here and think about any difference in sensation you may feel between your right and left side. Probably feel a little bit more heat and activity going on in this right leg since we focused on that one. But just notice any of those subtle differences. And then we're going to tuck that right foot in and open the knee to the side. For our seated tree pose, shift your hips, sit bones back. On an inhale, we'll reach the arms up. Exhale, extending, folding down, finding your reach here. Hands to the calf, the ankle, the foot, or maybe block or blocks to extend that reach here. Plugging the sit bones down into the mat. And those the crown of the head reaching for the toes. Breathe here. Soft bend to the knee, and as that space opens up, allow yourself to gently move into it. Look forward, tighten up the core. Inhale, reach the arms up. Hands meet, exhale, hands to the heart. Keeping the right leg where it is, we're going to bend that left knee. And again, tucking the calf and foot as close as you can to the back of the thigh, setting up for the twist. Coming through center, take a breath in. Exhale, twisting to the right. The left hip follows this time. And taking a couple breaths here. Growing tall as you breathe in. Exhale, twisting. One more breath in. And exhale to center. Extend the left leg and extend the right. So we'll take one more fold here. Shift the hips back. Feet flex. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, extend and fold down. You'll notice I'm not dropping my head. I'm keeping the neck neutral. So my nose is somewhere over the knees and I'm really reaching out through the crown of the head. Chin is lifted from the chest. Every time you bring your chin to the chest, you're closing off room for the breath. So keep that space open and available. Inhale, look forward, and coming all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. And we'll move into our tabletop position. So just making sure both of those blocks are available to you at the top of the mat for when we get moving here. Hands and knees, we'll stretch out the wrists. So coming around in circles, out and over the hands. Few times in both directions. Since this is a Vinyasa style class, we will be spending several moments in plank. So we want to make sure the wrists are sufficiently warmed up. Turn your inner wrists to the center of the mat and your fingertips to the long edges, and we'll continue to circle around. And then flipping that around, fingertips to the center of the mat and your inner wrists to those long edges. And then a very dramatic flip here. Wrists forward, fingertips to the knees, and you can do this one hand at a time if both at once is a little too intense, and just gently moving around here. And then as we bring our hands back to neutral, to center, we'll come to the top of the left hand first and gently move around, reversing all that stretching. Shake the left hand out and we'll move to the top of the right. And shake out the right hand. Come back into table. Inhale through cow. Lengthen the belly, the heart. Look up. Exhale to cat, rounding the spine. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. And exhale. Inhale through table, tuck your toes, walk the hands a step or two in front. We'll take another breath in and exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Pedal out your feet, lifting and lowering the heels. Really lengthen the tailbone upward. Maybe even shake out the head. And finding stillness here, take a full breath in and out. On your next inhale, right leg lifts up behind. Keep your hips squared to the mat, toes pointing down. Exhale, bend the right knee, come high on those left toes and tuck the knee into the chest. planting the foot between the hands and grounding the left knee for a low lunge. We're going to scoot those right toes forward a little bit, so we're really finding extension back through the top of this left thigh. Before we lift up here, I want you to square off your hips. Since we scooted those right hip toes forward, now you need to pull your right hip back, left hip forward. On an inhale, we'll bring the hands all the way up to frame the ears. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Press your hip bones forward. Breathe in, lift the chest. Exhale, peel the arms back for a little back bend. Heart lifting to the ceiling. Breathing. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come down. Breathe in, look forward. Exhale, back to a half split. You can take the blocks under your hands if need be. Right leg extends, toes to the ceiling. Left hip over the knee. Fold down here. Hands under the shoulders to start. Breathe into the back of that right leg. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward. And then we'll slowly walk the fingertips forward. This is optional to find extension through the arms. Nice flat back. Really connect with your breath here. Slide the hands back under the shoulders and inhale back to that low lunge. Plant your left hand to the inner right foot and inhale, right hand reaches to the ceiling or to the hip for a twist. And exhale, bring it back down. Tuck the left toes. Inhale, lift the knee, runner's lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Inhale, come high on the toes, rippling the spine forward to a high plank, shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, chaturanga, or all the way down to the belly. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, rolling over the toes, downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Your next inhale, left leg rises up behind, hips squared to the mat. Exhale, high on those right toes, bend the knee and bring the foot forward between the hands. Right knee grounds for the low lunge. Scooting the left toes forward and then squaring off the hips. So we're feeling a real big stretch in the top of this right thigh. Inhale, arms reach up to frame the ears. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Press the hip bones forward. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, peeling the arms back for the bend. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, half split, hinging back. Blocks are there if we need them. Right hip over the knee, left leg extends. Square off the hips. Hands under the shoulders. Exhale to fold. Walking the fingertips forward. Find the extension through the arms, flat back. Keep the hips squaring off. Little adjustments here if you need them. Hands sliding back under the shoulders. Inhale, shift forward back to the low lunge. Plant the right hand to the inner left foot and inhale, left hand reaches to the ceiling or hand to the hip. Exhale, bring the left hand down. Tuck the right toes. Inhale, lift the knee. Exhale, step forward to the top of the mat and fold down over the feet. Grasping opposite elbows and swaying a little bit from side to side here. Really release the upper spine, the head, and the neck. And releasing the arms. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, folding down. Soften into the knees. We'll roll up to stand. Big inhale. Arms come out and up. Look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Two more times. Release the hands down. Inhale, arms reach out to the side and up overhead. Exhale to swan dive, flat back, fold over the feet. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold, frame the right foot. Inhale, step the left foot back for runner's lunge. Exhale, seal that left foot to the short side of the mat. Setting up for side angle, taking a block or your hand to the inner or outer right foot. Outer will be more challenging. On an inhale, we can reach the left hand to the hip or all the way up to the ceiling. Lengthen the tailbone behind you. Breathing. Strong legs. We're going to be shifting right into triangle. So taking a block under your hand if you need it as we slowly straighten the right leg. Turn on that quad. Low belly is tucking in. Feel a really beautiful stretch on the top of this left side body. And exhale, bend into that right knee, bringing the left hand down. Bring both hands to the inside of that right foot and turn those right toes out to that long corner of the mat. Left toes turn out to the opposite long corner of the mat. So we're now doing a side lunge into the right hip. Turn that right glute on. Lift yourself up out of the pelvis here and perhaps even bring the hands to the heart. We're still bending into that right knee. Make sure the knee is not going past the ankle. Weight is in the heels. Inhale, straighten both legs as we move through center. And exhale, begin to bend into that left knee. Inhale, move through center. You can bring your hands down at any time. Exhale to the right side. We're going to move back and forth. Perhaps you get a little deeper to the mat. Perhaps you lift the toes of the extended leg as you bend into the opposite leg. Slow, deliberate movements. Core is engaged. Inhale, straighten through center. Exhale, coming back to the right side, bring your hands down and turn both sets of toes forward back to our runner's lunge. Breathe in, look forward. And as we exhale, we're going to slowly soften the left heel down to the mat, straightening the right leg. Now we're finding pyramid. Soft bend to the knees is okay. Maybe you widen the right foot out to the side to create more space between the legs. Hands can come on the blocks here underneath the shoulders. We want to try to square those hips off. Right leg pulling back. Right hip pulling back, left hip forward before we deepen our fold here. If you feel a lot of intensity in your left calf, the back calf, you can keep the heel lifted from the mat as you begin to bring the torso down over that right leg. Slow adjustments here, really using the breath for each movement. As the torso folds down, think of the crown of the head extending toward those right toes. Turn on the quads if those knees are straight. Option here, walking the hands back this time one at a time to create this fun little triangular shape between the arms and legs, balancing on your fingertips or using the blocks. And then slowly bring the hands back to frame the right foot. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, back to that runner's lunge. Bend into the right knee. Plant the hands, breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Inhale, high on the toes, rippling forward to a high plank. Exhale to the belly. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the top of the mat and fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up to stand, flat back as we lift. And exhale, hands to the heart. 3 breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Release the hands down. Go ahead and shake out your legs. And I'm just going to move to the other side of my mat so I can still see the camera. We will come back to mountain pose right here at the top of our mats. Moving into the other side. Make sure your blocks are available if you need them. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward over the feet. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold, framing the left foot. Inhale, right foot steps back, runner's lunge. And exhale, right foot seals parallel to the short side of the mat. Taking your hand or block to the inside or outside of the left foot. Remember, the outside is more challenging. Inhale, begin to reach and extend that right hand to the ceiling or hand to the hip. Especially if you feel that shoulder rounding forward. We're trying to stack the shoulders here. Tuck the low belly in, tailbone is long. Maybe we look to that right hand. And then really grounding into that back foot as we extend the left leg back, bringing us into triangle. Breathe in. Exhale, bend into that left knee. Bring the right hand down, back to our runner's lunge. Both hands to the inside of that left foot. And we'll turn those left toes to that long corner of the mat. And turn the right toes out to the long corner of the mat. Side lunge on the left side. Weight shifting back into the heels. Bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, straighten the legs, move through center. Exhale, side lunge to the right. Just like we did before, slow movement side to side. You might be able to extend your legs out a little bit more. Don't go too far. We don't want to compromise the hips. Inhale through center. Exhale back to the left side. Bring the hands down. Turn both sets of toes forward. Back to our runner's lunge. Breathe in, look forward. And as we exhale, start to soften your right heel down to the mat and extend that left leg for pyramid. You can widen out the legs here, creating space between them. Square off the hips. Hands can be under the shoulders, either on the mat or on the blocks. And as we begin to deepen our fold here, make sure those quads are nice and strong. And if the calf stretch intensity in that right leg is too much, keep a gentle lift to the heel. As we deepen the fold, bringing our torso down, think of the crown of the head extending to the left toes. Nice flat back. And then option to create that fun little shape here of walking the hands back one at a time. Strong legs. Belly is engaged. And then bringing the hands back to frame that left foot. Inhale, come back to our runner's lunge. Exhale, step the right foot forward to meet the left, folding down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive to stand. Hands meet. Exhale, hands to the heart. 3 breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Release the hands. Shake out the legs. I'm going to switch sides once again. Pick my wedgie, don't mind me. And then come back to the top of the mat and find mountain. One more little flow to go through here before we wind things down. We're going to be balancing a little bit more this time. So really connect with your breath here. Allow everything to slow down before we begin our movement. Inhale, arms reach out and up overhead, hands meet. Exhale, shift your weight to the right foot, hands come into the heart, and lift the left knee into the chest. So standing on the right leg, soft bend to the knee. On an inhale, we're stepping back through warrior 3. You can keep the hands to the chest. So we shift our torso forward, left foot back. Maybe the arms reach backward as well, or forward, frame the ears. Keep that left hip squaring down toward the mat, belly pulling up and in. Engage the legs nice and strong. Breathe in. Exhale, left toes touch down. Keep the heel lifted. Inhale, arms swing up to frame the ears. We're in a high lunge here. Press the hip bones forward. And breathe. Breathe in. Exhale, turn your left foot to the side as we open up to warrior 2. Stacking the right knee over the ankle. Squeezing into this left outer hip. And grounding down through those left outer toes. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, straighten that right leg. And exhale, hands to the hips. Pigeon toe your feet, so turning both feet in toward the center. Inhale, stick out your bum, begin folding forward. And exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Guiding your torso between the hips. Strong quads, strong legs here as we release and fold down. Inhale, halfway lift to fingertips. Exhale, fold, bend the elbows. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Slowly turn your feet out to the long corners of the mat and begin to squat the bum down. Make sure those knees are not going past the ankles. Feet are turning out. Right into goddess. Bring the hands into the heart. Or if that's too much, one hand to the thigh at a time to lift the torso, pressing the hips forward, tucking the tail underneath. Coming into it a little bit differently today. Really engage the pelvic floor. Find the lift upward. Inhale, extend the legs, reach the arms up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Turn both sets of toes forward, back to the top of the mat. Lift that left heel. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend that right knee back to that high lunge. Breathe in. Exhale, hands come down, framing the right foot. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, Vinyasa, high on the toes, rounding forward to plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the top of the mat and fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, reverse dive to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. 3 breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And release. Shake out the legs, shake out the arms. I'm going to switch sides one more time. And excuse me, I just have to pull my mat back. A little bit too close to the bookshelf. So finding mountain at the top of the mat. Remember, we're going to be balancing, so really take some time to connect with your breath. Find your drishti, your gazing spot to help with your balance. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, shift your weight to the left foot. Hands come into the heart. Right knee into the chest. Inhale, weight shifts forward. Right leg back to warrior 3. Arms can be wherever you'd like them. Keep that right hip square to the mat. We're holding here for a breath or two. Maybe the hands reach back. Maybe they reach forward. Belly pulling up and in. Breathe in. And exhale, right toes soften down, heel lifted for that high lunge. Inhale, arms come up to frame the ears. Make sure the left knee is stacking over the ankle. Breathe in. Exhale, opening to the side, warrior 2. Tuck the hips under, relax the shoulders. Press into that back foot. Inhale, straighten the left knee. Exhale, hands to the hips, and we'll pigeon toe the feet. So legs stay nice and wide, toes turn in. Inhale, stick the bum out and back. Extending forward. Exhale, folding down, hands to the mat, and guide the torso between the hips. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, folding down. Strong legs. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, lift halfway. And we're going to turn the toes out, bringing the heels in, setting up for our goddess squat. Making sure the weight is shifting back. Knees stacking over the ankles. Legs are opening. Slowly bring hands to the heart or one hand to the thigh at a time to lift the torso. Engage the pelvic floor. Inhale up to stand, arms reach up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Release the hands to the hips, turn both sets of toes forward, lift the back heel. Inhale, arms up to frame the ears. Exhale, bend that left knee back into that high lunge. Breathe in. Exhale, hands coming all the way down to frame that left foot. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Optional last vinyasa. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Breathe in. Exhale, knees to the mat, find table. Inhale through cow. Exhale to cat. 2 more times. Inhale through table. Cross the feet behind you. Bring your bum down and the feet forward. We're going to get ready to wind down now. So finding our half boat position, knees bent, arms out to the side, breathe in. Exhale, tuck the navel to the spine and begin rounding the spine back. Bring the base of the spine down first, and as slowly and as controlled as you can, 1 vertebrae at a time. Once the head is down, relax the arms and the legs. Take a big breath into the belly, let it out with a sigh. Tuck the knees into the chest, give yourself a squeeze. Rock a little from side to side. We'll find happy baby, taking the outer edges of the ankles or feet, stacking the ankles over the knees, and then opening the thighs wide around the rib cage. Flatten your low back to the floor, and you can rock from side to side here as well. Coming back to stillness, bring the soles of your feet together, keeping the knees open, and lower the legs to the mat. You can either support your legs in your hands here, or take one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, and connect with your breath. Relax the shoulders and the low back. And allow everything to slow down. Slowly release your arms to the side and bring the knees together. We're going to scoot our bums to the right and extend the left leg. Right foot to the top of the left knee. We'll take a breath in here. And as we exhale, we'll find the twist. Right knee softens over to the left side. Right shoulder stays glued to the mat. Your knee does not have to reach the floor. We want to just let gravity take over here. Inhale through center. We'll scoot our bum to the left. Extend the right leg. Left foot to the right knee. Breathe in. And exhale for the twist. Left shoulder grounding down. And release. Inhale through center. Even out your hips. Allow your shoulder blades to tuck under the back and extend the legs. Soften your fingers and toes and relax the belly. The eyes can soften or close as we drift into Shavasana. Feel your natural breath. Begin to quiet your thoughts, releasing your muscles, and just giving way to that natural rhythm of your body. We're going to take 3 deep, controlled breaths before releasing everything completely. We'll breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth as fully and deeply as you can. Now I invite you to surrender. How much can you give yourself over to this final, most important posture of the practice? Release into your body and let go of the mind. Slowly allow your breath to deepen, inviting awareness back to the body, to the mind. Wiggling out your toes and fingers, and rocking your head gently from side to side. On an inhale, reach and extend your arms up overhead, lengthening out the whole body. And exhale to soften. Float your knees to the chest one last time and give yourself a big hug. Find a mantra, some simple words of kindness and gratitude just for yourself. Repeating it a few times in your head. And whenever you're ready, rolling to one side and using an inhale to come up to your most comfortable seated position. We'll bring the hands to the heart, and we'll end our practice with a round of Om. Take a deep breath in. Exhale all the stale air. Big inhale for Om. Thank you so much for joining me in your practice today. I look forward to our next class. Namaste.